Hello, hello. Welcome to Persuading Prospects to say yes and a hell yes for you. So, what is up, everyone that's joining on tonight? We are going live in so many areas. We are live right now, I think everywhere except for TikTok. Claire, if you want to set that up for me, that'd be cool. But we're live on Instagram right now, Facebook page, my Elite Saleswoman Facebook page, also my personal page, as well as my Facebook group and YouTube and LinkedIn. Whoa, like thank God for StreamYard and for the beautiful people that are part of this. So if you are hopping in this tonight, just drop in the chat kind of where you're from. Yo, Canada is in the house. Canada, can't speak either. That's great. Drop in the chat where you're from, where you're coming in from. I'm in here from Miami, Florida. Thanks, man. Appreciate you, Lorena or Lauren. Lauren. There you go. Love from Galveston. What's up? Tony's in the house. What's up, guys? Washington's in the house. Let's go. Man, so beautiful. And, I just really want to honor everyone for hopping in here because there's so many times in our life where we get busy or things happen. And I think that what is really important is for us to allow ourselves the ability to show up for the things that need our attention. Like that being said, like right before this, I normally do these at 7 p.m. And my daughter and I were having a really deep conversation and she needed more of my time. And it was really interesting because she said, well, Mom, you are going to be late for your live. And I said, I don't care. I don't care. Like you're more important than the live. Right. And I think that sometimes we get so busy in business and we're trying to be perfect and all this other stuff that we don't take time to see the things that really, really matter. Wellington, Florida's in the house. Miami's in the house. Let's go. Wouldn't it be interesting for you to be able to have the ability to persuade your prospects to say yes to you? Wouldn't that be interesting? Again, my name is Keila Hodges. I am the founder and CEO of Elite Sales Women, the only sales training company for women. Also the #1 female sales trainer under 30. This is my methodology right here, Heart Driven Sales. You can follow me on Instagram at Keila Living Boldly for you on Instagram. Hope you're already following me. My God. Tonight, let's go over this really fast. How do I manage so many things? I have no idea. Lots of people on my team. I think we have 9 people on my team right now. Really big things for this year. Let's talk about this. Let's like a legitimate conversation, because I was talking to somebody earlier today and I was a little surprised by what they have going on in their sales processes. I was super surprised about how they're talking to potential clients and what they're seeing over and over again when it comes to their clients needing to think about it, needing to take more time, needing to talk to their spouse, needing to talk to, themselves, God, in order to make a decision. And the reality of that situation is that whenever you're in a sales conversation, if you do not know how to navigate a conversation very well, if you don't know how to persuade easily through your ability to communicate, what happens is that you get this beautiful thing called objections, right? You have objections. And yeah, super grateful for my team. They're awesome. I have no idea what I would do without them. And so during a sales conversation, what happens is either you have the ability and the skill to persuade and influence this person to say yes, or you don't have that skill and you're persuading this person to have objections. One of two things is happening. So I wanted to kind of dive in that today. And I'm like, what would make a prospect really actually say yes to you? So much so to where they start convincing themselves. So much so to where like they're not really thinking about anything that's coming up. And here, this situation happened to me to where I really started to understand this. When I first started in sales, I really sucked. I was horrible at sales, and I was trained in the methodologies that taught you, to hard close somebody. If somebody came up with an objection, I would have these little flashcards and I would look down my piece of paper and I'm like, which one do I use on this person? And I would know exactly what to say and how to say it because I would read them. And I think my favorite objection that I overcame was, I'm not that interested. Yeah, no, I agree. Negotiation is great. At the same time, can you make sure that you're getting this people to be influenced by you versus triggered by you? Difference, right? So during this time, I remember I'm on the phone, I'm triage calling, I'm calling 220 calls a day. I'm calling these people and they're hanging up on me and they're getting mad that I'm calling. They're frustrated and I'm trying to call them. I'm trying to make these sales and I'm trying to take care of, my daughter, Mike's in the house. What's up, Mike? Hope that you're doing well. Miss you, man. And somebody tells me, like, I'm not interested. And I come up with this crazy objection overcoming that I learned. I learned this, how to overcome this objection. And I would say, no worries, sir. Of course you're not interested. If you were interested, you'd be calling me versus me calling you. Now, how can I help you with your business today? And what do you think that guy did? Do you think that guy felt comfortable with me saying that? Do you feel like he felt more open to my feedback at that moment? And like, he was like, hey, like, you know what? Like, we're cool. Let's have a real conversation. Let me open up and be vulnerable with you and tell you all my problems that are going on in life. And, I'm going to really listen to you and I'm going to be persuaded by you. No, why not? Because when you criticize somebody's thinking, when you are against them, when you're in opposition of someone, naturally as humans, because we're wired as survival mechanisms, we go to flight or fight and we try to go against them versus getting on the same side. Yes. And so if you are wanting to persuade anybody, right, as being in agreement the entire time. Now, this is more for somebody that's just starting in sales. Yes. But what happens if you've been in sales for a long time and you're still getting a lot of objections? You're still getting people not to say hell yes to you on the first time. There's something that's happening. And why is it that some salespeople can close 50 or 60% of the time when industry standard is 19%? Wouldn't you want to know what those people are doing that are closing half the time? They're closing 60% of the time. What is it that they're doing? And when I started analyzing this, what I noticed was not just a sense of the right questions that they would say or like, what problem they were able to find or what like beautiful goal they were able to pick for this people. But what I noticed that really changed the trajectory of prospects saying yes and prospects being persuaded was how they had the sales call. Not just what they were saying, but how they were saying it. And here's an example, because myself, I don't know if you know this, but I like to talk, right? I'm a talker, like to talk, and I talk fast. And have you ever had the experience when you're talking to somebody and they're just like rambling, they're just telling their story, or they're going, and they don't have any clue that like you're giving off like, please get away from me vibes? And I definitely had that sometimes. When somebody asked me for advice, I just like overgive and I just like wanted to pour out, wanted to have a validity, right? Especially in a sales conversation, especially for my ladies. We love to coach on a sales call, right? You're in the middle of a call, somebody's telling you something that's going on in the call. And for some reason, we really love to just be like, oh my God, no worries if that's happening to you. This has happened to me before. This is how you could fix it. Or we try to help them have a breakthrough by telling them what's wrong. Instead of listening and asking good questions, instead of letting this person come to the realization themselves, sometimes on a call, you are listening and all of a sudden you're like, oh, I know what they're doing wrong. And then you start telling them. Whenever you start telling people what's going on, they don't receive it very well. And because you're talking and explaining and coaching, what happens is this person kind of puts up additional walls up against you because they're not used to somebody having their back. In fact, most sales calls make people triggered by you. Most sales calls, because people don't like sales calls and they don't like being sold to, they already have a pre-notion of what's happening before they get on the sales call. And then you get in and you start talking really fast, or you're really enthusiastic in sales and talk about how great your product is and your price and other things and how amazing it all is. And all you're doing is getting this person, this prospect in front of you to emotionally shut down. And when somebody's emotionally shut down, they are triggered and they have bodily reactions and emotional reactions because they're triggered. And therefore, you get a shit ton of objections at the end of every sales call. So the biggest thing is you being able to be in control, right? And knowing what you're doing, knowing how to ask the questions, and then how you're doing it. I just talked about enthusiasm, right? Let's go through this. I just talked to somebody today on a sales call, and they were telling me that they get on the call and they're so excited. They're so excited about this person and them doing their business and what they can do for them. They're so excited about what they can do, right? Enthusiasm is a big no-no in sales. A big no-no. You don't need to get excited for this person unless this person is based with a behavior of always wanting to be excited, and they're like a promoter energy and they really just want you to be excited for them and they're giving you that vibe. But you don't start the sales call unknowingly of their personality and not knowing what you're walking into by being really excited. Oh my God, how are you? How's the day? How is the weather outside? Oh my God, I'm so excited for this call. What's up, man? Man, it's been a while. Hope you're doing well. And you're like with this like fakeness to you. And guess what it does? It makes the prospect look at you with a level of distrust because there's a lack of authenticity through your tonality of your voice, right? And what happens when somebody feels like you're being inauthentic? They automatically protect themselves. Walls go up and they stop listening. They stop really trying to understand what you're doing because they feel like you're there for yourself versus being there for them. Okay. So I want you to think about how you start a sales conversation. Like just take a moment right now and like really think about it. Do you start a sales conversation with a lot of enthusiasm, with a lot of, oh my God, I'm so excited? Or do you start it with like the same way every single time? Hey man, how are you? Hope you're doing well today. How's the weather? Where are you from? Oh my God, I've never been there. What's one thing about this city? Blah, blah, blah. And you sound like every single other person that does sales calls. Kayla, but that's what I learned. That's what they've always taught me was to what? Build what? Rapport. The thing is that they taught you the wrong way to build rapport in a call. You build rapport by neutralizing the environment and by acknowledging the person in front of you. So how do you acknowledge a person in front of you? This whole conversation is about persuading prospects to say yes. I can't start persuading someone until they feel like they can trust me, right? The only way I can persuade a prospect is for them to feel like we're in alignment, feel like they can trust what I'm saying. And the only way for them to be able to do that is for me to calm them down as soon as I get on a sales call. I have to neutralize everything that's happening. I have to bring them to the same playing field. I have to let them know like, hey, I'm safe. Hey, it's fine. JJ's in the house. Mike C's in the house. What's up, guys? So in order for me to neutralize the prospect, you have 5 to 7 seconds only at the beginning of a sales call to make them feel safe. What would it look like instead of you saying, thanks, man. What would it look like instead of you saying, how are you doing today? Because that's what everybody else says. That you took 5 minutes before the call to really look at this person. Right? 5 minutes to really take the time and see. I think Jade is trying to be in here. I'm on live in a bunch of other places, but you can come on with me. Take time and a place to see like what it would really look like. Hold on, I'm trying to let you in. Accept. There guys. Yo, JJ.
I'll be coming on live. Why are you bringing me on live?
You asked me to. We're on live on YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook Live. We're on all of it.
Listen, this is why I tell everybody, all my staff, you got to be ready to go live with Oprah or Kayla at anytime they hit you up. Like, are you ready to present and sell yourself?
We're ready. Say hi to Claire.
We're talking today about what? Caring about our people?
No, man, persuading prospects. So, okay, get this. Okay, this is what's crazy to me. I literally was on a sales call earlier today. I'm on a sales call earlier today, and this girl's telling me that she's starting all of her sales calls, and they're being super enthusiastic about the product. They're like, oh my God, I'm so excited for you, the business, blah, blah, blah. And they're starting with all this enthusiasm. And the thing is that in sales, the old way of selling, we were taught that. We were taught to be like, hey, how are you? Oh, how are you doing today? Are you excited? Blah, blah, blah. And the thing is that people don't trust it because everyone starts sales calls off like that. You know, for anybody here, this is JJ. His handles JJ Live. Super incredibly intelligent at PR. Like, if you want your brand out there, like, this is the guy to talk to. You know.
Let's just go back. How did we even get to the point where you're helping these women out? Because I had to transform you.
Okay, guys. Yeah. Like, no, absolutely.
Too much Kayla to now internal Kayla. You had external Kayla selling you, right?
Mm-hmm.
Hair, body, face, great, but we needed to change the energy so people saw here, rather than the this.
So what he's talking about. So when I first met JJ, I was like, I want to be a sales. This was years ago. So I was like originally starting sales coaching for women, right? And JJ looks at my profile and all of it is me partying on yachts and me in bikinis and like drinking, like chilling. Like I look like a party Miami girl. And he's like, if a corporate company came in and looked at your stuff right now, would they cut you a check for $50K? And I was like, no, they would not. And so he basically made me delete. He's like, I want you to delete your entire social media. I archived it. Yeah.
I have never met a woman who did it that quick, that fast, and she did it. And I said, I'm going to work with you forever. If you keep listening to me, you will never pay me, and I will help you. And she just went bum, 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 bum. And that is why we're here today.
So thank you for being here. Yes, no, appreciate you. I literally archived over 1,000 posts. That was absolutely crazy. And then we, yeah.
I was like, more. You're like, this one, I'm like, do it. Cut it.
Yeah.
It's like a fat person chucking out the food in the pantry. They're like,
yeah.
But I love Cheerios. I'm like, spin it.
No, I love it, man. So I appreciate you. I think that you're really brilliant and you have really good eye when it comes to sales. And I want to talk about this. So I was talking about the beginning of a sales call. So in my methodology, right, I have a heart-driven process. And so what I do, which I think is really, really great here because you would relate to it, right? It's like at the beginning of a call, the first 5 minutes of call, what I do is I go look up their profile, right? So like, let's say I look you up, JJ, right? And, you know, you just started the new reels and you're like always caring about clients and just, you know, like my experience of you is super consistent, always showing up for others, always focusing out. Like, I just really appreciate people like you. There's so many other people that have an unwillingness to show up, that have an unwillingness to focus out. You're always caring about people. You're always honoring, you're always highlighting people, making people feel important and special. Like, I appreciate you, right? And what if all sales calls started kind of like that?
Yeah, well, like the greatest win, Kayla, is giving something personable. Actually, like, because the people know, if they're smart enough, they'll probably know, hey, you know, I'm coming on this call to get help. They're most likely going to show me their offer, right? So instead of them having their guard up, already being distant like this, invite them that you're a normal human. You're like, hey, Kayla, you know, hey, happy Monday. Hey, firstly, I just have to tell you that photo on your Instagram of you eating that piece of pizza, I got to tell you a story. Like, that breaks. I know it's different for different people.
Yep.
You don't have to be a storyteller or an entertainer like me. However, personality and personable, they're so waiting for you to go into pitch. They're so waiting.
Yeah.
They're like, they're playing, they're ready, but they haven't told you they're ready. They're like, okay, I know she's going to pitch me. I know I need help, but I'm just like, and if they're already that way, just get them relaxed.
Yeah.
Like, they're not gonna hang up on your face. You didn't randomly call them. They booked in an appointment. They need help. They trust you enough. So you don't need to rush the first 30 seconds into like, ugh.
Yeah. Calm down, breathe, and
And also listen to them. Like, listen. What I like about you, Kayla, what you've done really well to have these women and other people is it doesn't matter how good your script is, and it doesn't matter how great you are with people. It's a conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if they're like breathing deeply and you know they're nervous and they're answering and you can feel it in your soul, maybe just okay. Like, you've already got the script in front of you. You know what you're gonna say.
Yeah.
If I need to take another 2 minutes to get them calm.
See, that's the secret sauce. That's what I'm talking about right now. It's like,
right.
You have to be able to read people's energy, right? And the best part is to be in control of the sales conversation. So exactly what you just said. Like, I talked about acknowledging somebody, like saying like how amazing they are and really honoring them. You talked about even sharing a story. Like, I just saw this post on your story about, the pizza. Here's a story I have to tell you, right? Automatically disarming them, making them feel safe. And then throughout a sales conversation, you know what to say, but it's the pauses. It's the ability to hold space for people. It's like, okay, like this person needs a minute. And that's exactly what you're talking about. Also, I wanted to ask you, maybe you can give some feedback for this, because sometimes in a sales conversation, we get nervous. We're like, fuck, like, I don't know if they're going to say yes to me, no to me. Like, if you don't know really what you're doing or practice a lot, right? You like start to get like in your head a little bit. And I know that originally, I think that you used to be a magician. Like, you've been on MTV, you've done all this crazy, amazing stuff, been all over the place, been on TV shows. Like, how do you, if you're going to give advice for anybody like that's watching right now, like, how would you allow somebody to feel like confident, in the middle of a sales call, to where they are not worried about what they're saying? How would they get to that point in your eyes?
As the salesman, to like be comfortable in how what you're saying.
Yeah, you've talked to so many different people, you've been on stages, you've done so much. Like, if you were going to give insight on like, hey, how does somebody feel comfortable, even if like maybe it wasn't even a sales call, maybe it was somebody selling from stage or selling like
speak your mind, speak how you feel. Like, it's okay to you're not meant to be a smooth salesperson that doesn't like muck up.
Yeah.
Like, we're a human. Now, are you a leader? Are you in control of the conversation? Absolutely. However, there is power in being personable. Like, at the end of the day, the last thing you want to do, and I've made this mistake, and Kayla, I'm sure you have as well. We all do as salespeople. You sometimes forget that they're not a robot; they're a human. So, and look, I get it. We all need to make money. I need to close deals. Like, that's why also your pipeline has to be full. I know we're going on here, but I'm dealing with this right now, so it's very personal for me. I noticed even on a call today, guy was really qualified, but I didn't care as much because I knew I had other calls, so I didn't have to be so like. Because normally I would treat it like a ticket, and I let the conversation play a little bit longer when I didn't need to, and I think he really appreciated that.
Yeah.
I think he really was like, oh, Jay's not, this is the right fit, but like, hey man, let me send you an email. He's like, yeah, please do that.
Yeah.
When 10 minutes before, his arm was up and he was like this. So I think to your question, I think it's okay on leaning into the feeling like it's okay. Like, people know when you're not being real, and that's even worse than you maybe not being as smooth as you want to be. Like, no one's ever going to say this. Oh, I didn't do the deal with Kayla because she sneezed on the phone call, or oh, she made a joke that wasn't as funny as she thought.
Correct.
They don't say that.
No, you're on the money.
Yeah, they will say, I'll close it all, I'll land a plane. They will say, I didn't do the deal with Kayla because, man, she just was like, I didn't know who she was talking to. It's like, was I a ticket? Was I a robot? They will say that. Yeah.
I think the authenticity aspect of this is the key. Like, and, for me, it's like the person in front of you, because one of two things happens in your brain. Either you're like, fuck, this person is not a client, right? like something happens, you're like, oh, I don't know. And then you're like, and then you're trying to get off. Or number two, you're like, oh, this person is, I hope I get the deal. I hope I get the deal. And when I notice my brain goes there, I lose the deal, right? Either one. And what would it look like to just really just care about the person in front of you? If you're really focused on the person in front of you to have a breakthrough, to have a result, and you're just being real and you're not, when you're being real and you're focusing out, you don't care about you messing up or stuttering or like doing the wrong thing, because it's not about you. It's about the person in front of you, you know?
Yeah. I really do. Look, this is for me, and I've heard this from all pros in the game. You do have to get on as more phone calls, because it is true, and I've realized this firsthand. When you have so many calls that you're on, even if, yes, that could be a big deal, you're not going to be so caught up in it, right?
Yeah.
I've always realized if you've got 3 calls throughout the day, or 2, or 1, all you're worried about is that one call. You're just flowing, right? You're flowing. And here's a great tip for everybody, all the girls listening right now, and how many have listening. Here's a great win. We used to do this when I was doing dating stuff. If you want to go meet a girl on the street and you want to get comfortable, go and talk to as many people beforehand. We call it practice sets. It's the same thing with sales. I would do this before I'm having a big day of sales. I will go and get easy wins, even if it's not like transaction wins. It's like, hey, I'll call the bank, or not. Obviously, I wouldn't call the bank on purpose, but I'll get in things like, I have to make these calls throughout the morning. I want to get into my rhythm of listen, transact. Not transact. Listen, respond. Listen, respond.
Yeah.
And I'm going to get a win. Like, I need this done by 3:30. Okay, great, Mr. J. This will be done by 3:30. It's a confidence of like, you got something done.
Yeah.
Now you're in the rhythm of talking.
No, you're right. I mean, that's why my clients, like my girls, they practice 4 hours a week. My clients, 4 hours a week on role playing, right?
I love it.
Because if you're not practicing, you're going to be practicing on prospects. And if you're practicing on prospects, there's a chance that you're going to lose deals. The money's going to slip through your fingers. Clients are going to slip through your fingers. You're absolutely right. You have to be in consistent momentum of always training, always learning, always developing. And it's hard to, it's like you're practicing Spanish, right? If you're learning a new language and then you go a couple weeks without practicing, you might have a weird accent the next time you try to say it. Like it might come out really weird. Maybe you remember the word, but it might sound different. And it's the same thing, because the sales conversation is not just about how you're saying and what you're saying. It's your tonality. It's your body language. It's your ability to make someone feel comfortable. And if you're not practicing that all the time, like you're really rusty, you know?
Yeah, and look, and you're 100% right. And I said that's why I go live every morning, even if I have 5 people. As a professional, seasoned speaker, whose job was it to get paid to speak, even for me, I have to get my tongue to the vibe that I want it to be. Like it's 7:40, 54 Eastern. I'm smooth right now. Like I've got but I've also been on calls all day. But 12 hours ago, even after sleeping, I'm like not that tired. So to give everybody context here as well, like I'm being very vulnerable that as someone, if you see my work, you're like, wow, this guy's really well trained. Even for me, I'm going live every day because I'm not as tight with my work. So if I have to do that, if the best have to do that, why wouldn't you do that?
Yeah,
why don't you
absolutely.
think it's important?
Yeah, absolutely. And Chirag's on here. He's on my team. He's freaking awesome. You're absolutely right. I think that so many times we don't realize it's a continuous practicing. Like sales is a skill. The ability to influence is a skill. The ability to persuade is a skill. Like power is defined as your ability to influence others, right? And so if you don't want to, like, and it's with everyone. I influence my kid all the time. I'm influencing, my clients, influencing myself, right? It's all these different aspects. I'm influencing you right now, JJ.
You know what? It's like Taylor, and I'm going to give you a compliment here for both of us. Sometimes we're too smart sometimes in the way of like we understand influence. We understand what we're doing.
Yeah.
But most people, you go to a mom and go, you're a really great saleswoman, and she'll be like, no, I'm not. Like I'm terrible at sales. Like you get your children to eat vegetables every night when they say no. What is that? It's a cool closing.
Yeah.
But they don't understand that there's a disconnect, right? There's a disconnect because it's not like they don't see it like that, but they're transacting. Closing is bringing two things together. That's really what it is.
Mm-hmm.
And I think if more people understand, Kayla, what you're training them in, learning how to have great conversation and listening, it changes. I have no problem with the world sales. I think it's an extremely part of my business, and I've been doing it for my whole life. However, I know it turns a lot of people off because there's a stigma. So I think if we both train and help people, like what do you think would happen if you could have perfect conversations with people? What do you think you could achieve?
Yeah.
How much do you think you could make?
I mean, no, you're right. And it's in every area, like even like dating. Like think about this. Think about how many couples fight because of their inability to communicate with each other. Right? You know?
Yeah, listening, understanding, not ego, right? Actually, what do we do instead? Put the other person like first, okay? Hearing you.
Yeah, agreeing with them, making them feel important. You know, I think the ego is the biggest thing that gets in the way of business, gets in the way of everyone's lives. Your ego wants to look good, feel good, be right, you know, avoid pain, avoid fear. And the biggest way to overcome that is service and to focus outwards, you know?
Yeah.
What is one thing, JJ, like that you're working on right now? Like what is a passion project that you're working on right now?
Yeah, I'm thinking of doing like sales training for women, but for like the Persians.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I'm gonna wear a wig. I'm gonna do like an altar. Like I'm gonna set my intention and identify as a pretty woman from.
I love that for
Dubai.
you.
No, so what am I working on right now? Look, we're doing the same thing as you. I'm just helping people who have an expertise build it, get the whole world to know them. I have clients even on this flight right now, which is great. You know, if you're listening right now and you do something better than most of the world, if you put time into something, I can help you monetize that. Whether we do a course, whether we do a product, whether we do a coaching or consulting, whether we actually just get you more money for the ways you make money now. And Kay, I'm really excited on that because people want to learn how to make another 5 figures, 6 figures, 7 figures a year like I have with their expertise.
Yeah.
And people forget sometimes that there's more ways to make money than just trading your time for that, which I still do. But there's other ways to do that, or other roads, like what you're doing. You've got a course, you've got one-on-one, you speak, you've got products, you've got now 4 ways to monetizing your knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
You can consult, you can go into a company and train their organization, that's 5. You can do merchandise, you know, living boldly.
Hey, have that. You know, I'm giving a pair. So we're doing a huge challenge next week on the 30th through the 1st, and we're giving a pair of red bottoms away.
How much red bottoms these days?
Like $800. Yeah.
Yes.
So this.
Do you but the size that you buy it for them, right?
They're gonna have to go to Saks and get size, or go to Louboutin and get size. Like, there's no way. Like,
what do they have to do to get into competition for that? Because, like, you know,
they have to do the homework every day. So when they come on, they have to go live in the group before it starts. So everyone has to go live, and in addition, you have to at the end of every day, you have to do the homework in the chat. But I'm like, every girl deserves to have a pair of red bottoms. There's something like so sexy about wearing a pair. You just feel like $1 million. You like walking. Remember, wasn't I with you when I wore the red bottoms and I couldn't walk anymore? That was with you, right? No, it was here at Brickell, and I walked. You made me walk from that bar all the way to Komodo, and my legs are shaking.
I said you ain't taking off your shoes. Like that's like me in a beautiful fitted suit taking off my shoes and holding them. Like that's exactly how disgusting it is. I'm like, no.
Oh, it was great. You know? But every girl deserves to have a pair of them.
Let's ask one before I go. I gotta call it here shortly. Let's ask one question to the girls listening right now. What's one question that if they could solve tonight, what would be the one thing they need help with? What is the one thing that's holding them back this week? from being better at sales?
Oh, I love that question. So the question is, what is the one thing
that you feel like you're struggling with?
Jess is in here. What's up, Jess?
Have Kayla or Jay answer it for you. What's the one thing this week that you've faced, that you've dealt with?
The
one thing that you feel like it's been creeping on you like a virus. What's the one thing that you feel like it's like, man, I keep running into this issue?
Leads, haha.
I'm on fire today because I'm on smooth as a
I think most people think that they have a leads issue, and I don't think that's the case. I think that they have a closing issue.
You know what? Is it Lorraine?
She said leads.
Leads. Carrie's in the house. What's up, Carrie? Yeah. So no, it's not a lead problem.
Yeah, that's what I said. It's not.
I'm going to take full responsibility on this because I say the same thing. Now, obviously, do I want better quality leads? Absolutely. I agree. However, guess what? My phone's right here. You don't have a leads problem. You have a sales problem. You have your phone. You have enough leads on your phone. You don't have a leads problem, right? Tell me, including me, like there is enough people on your phone right now that know one person that needs your service. So you don't have a leads problem. Probably you have a discipline problem to make the phone calls, and if you don't want to make the phone calls, you have like an education problem. You don't know what to say. That's Kayla's job.
Yeah, literally, it's not a leads problem. It's your ability to close. Like, think about this. Like, industry standard is 19%. So 10 calls that you have, maybe you close 2 of them, maybe, and that's industry standard, right?
But Kayla, even if me, because let's say they don't have any quality. Like, let's say she says on social media. Here's the deal. Your phone is your biggest asset, and we forget about this, including me. Like, just start. You can even play. Kelly Ray played this one called calling roulette. You get someone to scroll on your contacts and just press the button. It's a great way to get through confidence.
Oh my God, that's scary. I like doing things with quality, right? And the thing is that people, the reason why you're not getting leads on social media, like you're posting all the time, but no one's messaging you in order for them to work with you. The problem is that you're not building a gap in your mind. There's strategic questioning that you can ask people in DMs to make them feel like there is a gap that only you can close. And the only way you know how to do that is having a skill like sales. That like the problem is not the leads. It's not like, hey, I'm just going to post online. Here's my face. Like, please work with me. You have to be able to show that you can solve someone's problem. And most people don't realize the problems that they have. So you have to be able to ask specific questions that allows them to realize that their problem is so big that they have to do something about it today. And unless you know how to do that, you're at a loss, you know?
Yeah, look, you're right, because the big thing that I've realized too, like, I don't have a leads problem. Yes, we want like better leads to make it easier. I get it. Like, hey, who doesn't want, they call me Glenn and Larry, Glenn Ross leads, right? Who doesn't want the hottest leads? Like, hey, they're ready to buy, they've got money. Yeah, but that's not, it's either going to cost you a ton of money to get that, or you're going to have to do something else. And most people aren't willing to make a phone call and learn the art of having that conversation and do some more steps before that. And if you're relying on social media leads, it's not there are so many things where that can go wrong. And a lot of people, including me, wasted, not anymore, but I used to waste a bit of time focusing on the perfect caption, Kayla included, right? Perfect copy, perfect photo, perfect reel.
Yeah.
What's the why on this? You're doing this to get leads. Post it, put it out there, but start putting messages to attract the people that have that pain or problem.
Yeah, the messaging is really unclear to a lot of people, or they don't do market research. They're just guessing. So they think, they're like, oh, this might be my person's problem. And so you're guessing, you're like, oh, they want to get to 7 figures, or they want to get to 10K a month, or maybe they want to get to 30K a month, but you're not doing actual like data research to figure out what your niche is actually looking for. You're shooting in the dark and you're guessing, and therefore your copy might be not landing the way it's supposed to because you didn't take the time and the due diligence to look it up, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah, and you're right. And look, just to give people, I'm always big on giving people tangibles because that can take time and that can frustrate a lot of people, okay? So
go to YouTube. I'm like, go to YouTube, right?
Yeah, right. No, I agree with you. And I agree with you. But it's sometimes people like struggle, like, yeah, it seems like a lot, and then they get frustrated and they give up. So I'm always big when okay,
Mm-hmm.
this is what I would do to answer that question. If you've had a client before that you've really had a great experience with and you got the result, write down who that person is, what do they do, where were they before they were working with you. I bet you that will help you find a better avatar to start approaching. And I'll go first because I dealt with this problem a lot recently. I'm struggling because I'll get some people who want to grow a personal brand, but they've never done a video. And I enroll them, and guess what? I can't get them to the result because they're scared. And I'm frustrated, they're frustrated, they think I'm not doing the right job. It's their complete responsibility on me. So I said, okay, who's been the best clients? I'm like, the clients that are already making usually millions, right? They're not worried about the leads. They're usually men, right? They usually, and I'm going to say this, attractive men that look after themselves, right? They treat their business, they treat themselves like they treat their business, so it's like, looks great. They're already doing content, but they're having a problem finding that next.
Yeah.
And guess what? I actually focused on that last week, and I haven't closed this deal yet, but it could be worth 100K. But where I'm sharing this with you is because I went, okay, it got rid of all the people that I know that I'm like, I could help them, but I struggle. Who are the people I really want to help?
Yeah.
And I can help them. So anyway, the reason I'm sharing this with everybody is because it's really important sometimes getting clearer on, instead of trying to help everybody or help people that need help, or you think, who do you want to help? It's really simple sometimes. Like, who are the exact people that you feel like that you could help, or you've helped in the past successfully? Where do they hang out? Where do they go? Could you call up that person again and says, hey, listen, I'm looking for 3 referrals? Most people don't do that.
Most people don't ask for referrals. Yeah. It's mind-boggling.
Yeah, hey, Caleb, it's really great. Like, how are you? Great. Hey, question. Let me, by the way, I saw your profile. You should try this, and this. This may help value.
Yeah.
Makes me feel good, dopamine. Oh, wow. Right? Hey, quick question for you. I'm looking for some new people to help. Be upfront. You don't have to lie. Hey, who are 3 people? I like 3, not 1. Because 3 gets them thinking more. I know 3 people that you could personally introduce me to that would be a great fit for for the result that I gave you. It's very clear on the way you ask that, because they're looking now for more than 1. And you're like, oh, who would be someone that would like the same result? Oh, Sarah, that's Sarah for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll check you up. And then you can be like, hey, in return, I'm a big on incentivizing. In return, I'll give you a kickback of this, or hey, in return, I'll give you a free month, or I'll give you this if you help me close the deal.
Yeah. No, but it's your willingness to ask, right? A willingness to ask and doing it in a way where it doesn't sound salesy. It's like, hey, give me 3 free new leads. No, you're like, hey, like, who do you know that would want the result that I gave you? And like giving, and before you're asking, it's just the way you're doing it, the delivery. And
you know the 4 words of power? Do you know the 4 words of power,
Kayla?
No. Well, the 4 words, the 4 phrases of power. Okay, I'll just go with it. I need your help.
I love that. Women use that on guys. I'm telling you, that's the 4 magic words. Men love to help.
If you called someone up, anyone tonight, and say, hey, what's up? Hey, I need your help. And pause. It's a very powerful, really vulnerable. No one's going to be like, fuck you. They're going to be like, what's up?
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
Hey, I need your help. It's good.
Hey, hey, John, what's up? I need your help. Well, what's going on, Jay? I would love to, it really, you don't know where they're going to go with it.
Yeah. No, it's good.
It's a very powerful thing if you be authentic. Hey, I really need your help.
No, I love it.
What's up?
I think it's great. I love everything that you're doing. I feel like your ability, JJ, just to be super giving with your time and energy and knowledge, like it really just sets you apart from so many other people. I appreciate it so much.
I'm not dating anybody, Kayla. You know what that feels like, but I'm not dating anybody.
If anybody wants a hot Australian man.
I didn't ask. I'm not dating. I'm not time.
Oh, I know. I was trying to set you up, bro. I was trying to set it up.
Yeah, set it up. I was thinking of doing if I don't crack the code in about 5 years, I'm gonna like create some kind of brand like datej.com.
Dude, I love it. I think you should do it. Oh, I have an interesting marketing strategy that I want to throw your way.
Okay. What?
So the guy that I'm dating.
Are you official now? Have we told the world?
Hold on. Here's my idea.
Have you told who it is?
No, hold on. Don't say it.
Okay.
So here's my idea. My idea and his idea is that for a couple months we start posting each other with a big emoji over each one of our faces. We don't tell anybody who it is.
Oh, you're gonna do the Asian strategy, okay?
I was thinking about it for like a couple months, and then kind of do a big reveal. You know, like, what do you think about that?
Well, that's like 8-year-old strategy. They do that in Vietnam a lot when I was living in Asia. So you'll do it with your boyfriend, and the girls will do it with their boyfriend, and they always sort of face like a huge emoji over his face, and then eventually they'll start to remove it, so you'll see his jaw or something, and then eventually it's off. It's just this thing that people do, yeah.
I think it's a cute idea. Do you have another idea?
Yeah, I've got a way more like.
Give me a better idea.
This is so much better. Ready?
Okay, tell me.
Don't do that. That's cheesy.
Okay.
What you want to do is like, let's say the photo. Let's say your hands on his hands, right? Let's say it's like this. Let's say it's like he's wearing his watch, but it's like your hands like this. You just start to have parts of his body in the photo enough to be like, oh, whose hand is that? Whose glasses is that? Whose car is that? Leverage. That's the PR I think have with it, because without people are smart enough to understand. Oh, I know that body type. I know who that would be. Right?
Interesting. Okay.
Don't give so much. Like, I know who it is. I'm not going to say anything, but like, I know enough about him to know there's enough intriguing parts of his life and his lifestyle that you could full play people into the idea of, wow, like what's this? You put the pieces together.
I like that. I think that's a great idea.
Otherwise, what are you going to be different? You're going to use a new emoji every photo?
That's a good point. Yeah. No, this is more fun for sure.
And let me ask you this: who's you'll probably get? I was going to say who's going to get most traction? You will. So so it's on your profile.
But his profile is so much bigger, so I'm just like, I wonder what that would look like.
But you're a pretty girl from Miami, please. Like, people have been hiding out to date you for years, Kayla. So this is going to be.
It's going to break a lot of hearts. We're going to break a lot of hearts in one day.
Yeah. All the men are going to mourn. So like, if we're going to do it in class, right? So I think what we can do, I like the idea because I've seen people do it in the past, right? Me included, actually. I used to I'll share like a girl's hand, like, let's say she's leaning on my shoulder, or a little bit of a nice top. People like, who's he with? Why isn't he showing that? He gets it going.
Dude, I think it's great. I think it's a great marketing tool. I'm going to try it out. We were talking about.
You probably will get a lot of it. You get new attention that way too, because the one thing is your PR tip for tonight. The one thing you'll realize is people watch you, and whilst people may feel like yes, you can help them in their mind, they don't want to work with you in the sales way. Even if you know you can, they don't want to. But when you bring a new aspect of your life into the play, now they connect with you. Oh, you'll get so many women you probably get women who will enroll with you because of that strategy.
Interesting.
Just because they may feel like, well, what does Taylor know? Because blah blah blah. Oh, she's got a guy now. She gets me.
Interesting.
That could be a really interesting way. And you're doing it naturally, I'll think of it like, I know, look, I personally know if when the time is right and I decide to, really find the queen and I reveal that or show that online, I will get a ton more married men. 1,000%. Because they trust me that I've shown commitment. In their mind, they don't see me as, oh, he's single. Is he going to take my money? Is he a
interesting?
Is he a party boy? Like, I get it. I've had people in the financial sector with wealth management say they will not give money to a guy like me because it implies it doesn't matter what they think. Single, attractive, lives in Miami. What does that scream problems with? Party boy,
Yeah.
playboy, takes drugs, goes out with girls.
Yeah.
So if I'm married and have children, they're like, well, he's safe.
Yeah. Ooh, that's just so interesting. Oh, so interesting. Yeah, because honestly, like my daughter is like one of my biggest assets, like she gives the perception for me, like instead of me just being some girl, oh, she's a mom. I understand her. I get her. So I get that. But I mean, I've been single.
You get a lot more. Without like knowing you, if looking at you, I would say you would get a lot more. You get not as safety is the right word. You get a lot more leeway. Is not the right word. You get a lot more like I don't know. Was it like when someone's like I don't know, like this is a bad example. You get a lot more something because you have a child because people can see that. Like people don't. The word I'm looking for, they don't judge you that. They're like, oh, hang on, because you have got a daughter.
Yeah, it's crazy.
There's an element of trust that provides because
yeah.
Now if you were full single out on the scene on the boat, it's like they're like, no.
Correct. I love human behavior. It's fascinating to me.
Yeah, that's why also I don't go out on boats. Not that I've not been on the boats, but it's like I also know that it's like it's ego, and it's also it's sad because people do make judgments like that, and it doesn't matter whether someone has just given you money or they've been with you for 4 months, and it's not a special occasion or a Sunday or something where there could be understanding why you might. Like, if it's 8 o'clock, if I'm out and you see me pop a bottle in a club, right? It doesn't matter. It could be a celebration.
Yeah.
The clients that are giving me a lot of money, they'll be watching. They won't say anything. They're like, it's 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock on a Thursday. Why is he out popping bottles? Is that my money?
Yeah.
It's like, so he's a party guy. Oh, is he going to do drugs up? Is he going to strip up? Like, they just go to these places. That's PR.
Yeah.
That's reputation management.
Yeah.
So, ladies, if you're listening right now, I know that you're proud of showing your life, and you're like, hey, I'm in my own power, and I'm proud of my life. Yeah, you're right. But when it comes to your online reputation, people are watching, and they're looking, and they're making judgments. And most of the time, they're at home, angry or hungry or sad or depressed.
Yeah.
And your story triggers them. Please,
yeah, you're out having fun, and they're just like, "Fuck you." It's a real truth. It's the truth.
Jealousy's a bitch. Jealousy's really a bitch. That's why I gotta check my phones in the morning. My brain isn't guarded yet. I go do my workout. I put on my power suit. I do my drink. Like I have my thing before I go out and drink. That everybody's 1 minute highlight reel. All week. I don't want to, if I wake like this morning, actually, personally, I woke up and something happened. I just wasn't feeling like, and I looked at the phone to check something. My mind wandered, and for a couple of minutes, I was insecure because I wasn't guarded. I was like, wow, look at that shit. Like,
you're right. Whatever you put in your basket comes out. You have to protect your mind. You have to protect your heart,
And even for me, who sells this, I know it's not real. I know it's a minute highlight reel. It doesn't matter. Like I'm weak. If I'm weak up here and it's not guarded, it gets to it gets to me a little bit, and I have to hey, turn it off. Yeah.
No, I'm completely with you. I think that we get to. When you're in a leadership position with your life, you get to, first of all, have boundaries for yourself, making sure that if people are watching you, like what experience are you trying to give them? And ask yourself, are you posting this for you or are you posting this for your prospect? Because if you're posting it for you, it's just about ego. And then at the same time, you're your own biggest, worst enemy. And if you don't guard yourself, you're going to really mess yourself up. We all go through shit. We all have all situations, not life is easy. Business is not always easy. And if you don't allow yourself to keep people around you that can support you to where you can ask for help, or people around you that believe in your vision and constantly are telling you that you can do it, or you're thinking and watching things that are not serving you, you'll really get yourself in a funk, and it's really hard to get yourself out if you don't know how to,
Yeah, you're really good at that, Kate. You gotta. I know everyone says the key person those minutes around the life. However, like, go hang out with people who don't support it and don't cheer you on, and come back to us and tell me how important those feelings are, including me. Even I want to push people uphill. I'm like, oh man, hopefully they like me. I really want to. If it's not meant to be, like, I don't see ya.
Yeah.
Like, because it doesn't matter what you say, what you do, what, like, it's like forcing anyone to like you, forcing anyone to love you, forcing anyone to work with you. It doesn't matter how good you are. Let it go, yo. Like, if there's a million other people to work with,
yeah,
and you're getting caught up on one thing, said one time, by one day, for one deal. I'm motivating me right now. When I speak, I motivate me because I'm the same.
You have to do it, man.
I get caught up. Did I say this? Should I done this? What did I say? Like, why did I waste all my time? Like, half the time it's what was the point?
Mm.
I always ask myself this too, Caleb. Am I going to be worried about this in 4 months' time? No. Then why am I worrying about it today? Like, am I going to be annoyed in 4 months' time that client didn't come through and pay me that? No. I'm going to be like, I'm so happy of these people. So I have to be really present at that too, because like, we all want to be perfect and we all want to be like really great at our skills and art. Sometimes it's not meant to be. Like, when you get so caught up on what did I say? Should I say this? I shouldn't, like, half the time it's not even our problem. It's their problem.
Well, people are mirrors for you. So if they're having an issue and it's bothering you, it's because something inside of you is not healed yet. But you thinking, oh, I wasted my time or whatever, like, you have to trust the process. If you're serving people, it doesn't matter, and somebody just asked what your Instagram was. It's JJ Live, JAY Live. And so, like, you need to remember who you are, remember your contract, remember how amazing you are, how powerful you are, that you're a leader, that you're here to serve people and honor people. And the law of the universe, if you give, you're going to receive. It may not be from that person, but it is coming. And you trust. I feel like so many times we think that, we're not good enough, or we think that, business is not going to happen, or like why or when. And most people stop 3 feet from gold. Most people get so close to achieving what they're going to achieve. They're like right about to get momentum. It starts going down and down and down. And right before it picks back up, they quit or they change their strategy or go somewhere else. Like, make a decision and then follow through. And when it gets hard, keep going. And I don't know how you believe about God, but I really feel like sometimes in my life, especially the past few months, I'm like, how the hell am I doing this? And I'm like, all right, God, like, please just like allow me to surrender this to you, because I need like outside help right now in order to move through. But then I like taste sweetness at the end, right? Just because I was willing to trust, I was willing to keep going, even though it sucked, even though it hurt, even though like I felt like I couldn't do it. I'm like, no, I'm going to keep moving forward. And it always works out for you, doesn't it? Every time in your life, it's always worked out.
Every financial burden I put my throat down, it's really, I'm like, I know in 2 weeks I'll be better. Yeah. Like, and I think to your point though, sometimes too, like, it's okay to like just pause and take half the day off. I'm always big on that, and too, I have to get really hard on that. If I'm not feeling it, I've gone home and taken off my clothes and done something. I'm like, that's it, done. And then I'll do 3 hours, and I'm like, I'm better now. Sometimes you got to pause. Like, Dad always said this: don't leave the team, don't leave the field, don't leave the team. You can stop playing on the field. When I used to play soccer, just don't leave the field. Yeah. Don't leave the team, because everybody just will like, oh, that's it, I'm out, I'm giving up. Like, firstly, you did it for 2 days. Like, same thing with sales. Like, people,
yes,
we like, not as much now, but people give up way too quickly.
Yes.
And it's actually disgusting with a capital D that you feel like that you would get success after a week.
Yes.
Like, how like I said, how dare you assume that you're going to be good in a week? Like,
correct. Like, no, yeah. My new sales girl, her name's Vanessa.
Yeah,
right?
You did 6 calls this week? Okay, babe. Like, tell me how that's going to like make the money for you.
Exactly, right? And so my new sales rep, Vanessa, she literally inspired the shit out of me this week, because she came to me last week. First of all, her first language is Spanish. She's from Cuba, I think it's Cuba. And I gave her a script. First, she was going to do my DM script. She couldn't make it through, right? Her English was broken. So then I was like, okay, like just be a triage caller. So she's learning the script. Literally took her all day long, walking around my house, pacing, saying the script out loud, fumbling over her words. In my head, I'm like, fuck, like I'm gonna have to get rid of this girl. Like, feel so bad for her. She just quit her job to come work for me. And the next day she comes in and she starts making calls. And she made 60 calls her first day, still fumbling. The next day she comes in, made 220 calls and sent out 14 links for my thing. 220 phone calls. Yes. And then today she made another 100 plus calls, and she even booked a sales call from a girl I used to talk to before and like booked another one for her, you know? And I'm just like, that's what I call dedication. Like, dude, that girl has been working her ass off, not getting anywhere. And finally, just like, that's what happens. It's like, she thought she couldn't do it, but she was like, no, I'm determined. I'm going to figure this out. And then she did. I'm like, oh my God. And she sounded so smooth today too. Like, how is it a week ago she could barely see the script? And today she sounded like so smooth and like, it's so great that it's a consistency thing, discipline.
Yeah, but what I love about that is you've really shown people like the intensity of getting through that first level of pain and fear. Like, you remind me, there's so much effort. I know even what's his name said this, Alex Mosey, like what the people always underestimate on how long things take, right? We assume that it's going to be super quick because we're in this life of give me.
Yeah.
It doesn't work like that.
Yeah.
Like it just doesn't. Like why do we constantly think it's going to be in 3 months? That's why I'm like, you better be willing to do this for a while. Like, there has to be for you some enough enjoyment, so you can push through the shit.
Yeah.
Because if you just completely hated this, there's no way you're gonna last.
No.
You won't, because we can't control things. So, like, even for me, there's enough enjoyment so that I'm like 8:30 at night here. Look, you're at home too. Like,
yeah.
It's just, there's got to be enough enjoyment, and I think everybody listening, before you go out and ask and scream it's not working, just be really present with yourself and say, okay, me, how much have I really put into this? And most of us, including me, will be like, go back. Like, we're quick to ask for help, we're quick to say it didn't work. Show me the runs on the board. Like, show me 400 sales calls.
Show me the numbers.
Well, like, show me the numbers. Oh, you didn't? Show me. Oh, you didn't record it? So were you lying or did you do it? Well, I didn't. Show me. Go do 400, come back to me.
Yeah.
I remember when Gary V, Caleb, said to this guy that was selling shoes. He said, he's like, Gary, it's not working. I'm trying to sell my shoes online and, like, doing this. And Gary's like, how long have you been doing this for? He's like, 3 months. The guy goes, get the fuck out of here, man. He was like, don't come back to me when you've put in for like 13 months or 3 years. Like 3 months. And you're like, doesn't work. I'm like, you know how long it takes things? How long it actually takes? And we're not willing to be determined enough to try and do and sit in one place and make dials or work on the craft. Like,
It's because, and also with most of my girls, it's like they feel like unworthy or they feel like they can't do it, and it's like internal stuff that they got to heal at the same time. Men, y'all are wired to like execute, to get shit done, like back in the olden caveman days, y'all went to go hunt buffalo. You weren't going to hunt the buffalo and going, oh my God, Stacy looked at me mean this morning and she hasn't picked up little Tommy all week. Like, what the hell? I can't work today. And as women, we're wired differently. We're emotional beings and we need to allow ourselves to heal and have space and have energy like we're supposed to. And so you're going to have a mixture, right? You're going to have a willingness to get things done, but also, a willingness to honor yourself. And I feel like us ladies, we try to be like men and we try to execute and like do all these calls and do all these things. And the thing is that we burn out, right? Or we get frustrated because we're just trying to do. So allowing women to behave like women, right? Having white space on their calendar, like going to take a walk. I'd rather have you do 100, like do an hour of calls and then go take a walk for 10 minutes and come back. But because they don't have the formula, they don't have the tools in place, they try to act like dudes. And then they're frustrated because they're tired and burned out.
Okay, but a lot of them don't even try. That's the other thing too.
Yeah, it's very accurate.
I understand female and males are completely wired different. However, there is something called also like, don't lean in that. Lean into like putting in the work first. Like I don't expect anybody to go aggressive vibes like be crazy, but you also have to push through that first initial feeling of I'm scared. Like that's got nothing to do with you being a female or me being a male. That's just human DNA.
Yeah.
Of course, the rejection. Like just because
Hey,
you're
Ashley.
female doesn't mean you feel it different. Like we all feel scared.
Yeah.
And that takes time to stop the thoughts too. And if everyone has their unique way of needing space, I need space. I get my massage every week. I go for a walk. Like I have my own ways of. But I also know a lot of the stories we tell ourselves aren't even real.
Mm-hmm.
Like he doesn't want me to call him. Why? Who said that? I did. Call him. And we need to be pushed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Having a second pair of eyes on you is
Who
important.
said that? Yeah. Get any girl on it, and she's like, this. I'm like, who said that? She's like, I did. I'm like, that's right. Call him. Sometimes we need someone there to like just push us in the deep end.
I think it's important. Yeah. Second pair of eyes on you. That's why I have a mentor myself. Like I have breakdowns. I call somebody, but like somebody to hold yourself accountable. Like I wanted to go to the gym every morning at 5:30. Couldn't do it. Now every morning, Veronica and Melissa meet me at the gym 5:30. And guess what? My ass is there, you know?
That's impressive, actually. That's brilliant. You go to bed soon, actually.
Yeah.
In an hour.
Yeah, I'm about to get off of here. Yeah, I want to have one. But I appreciate it. Thank you. This was a nice surprise. Are you going to Epic Talks tomorrow? What are you doing? Are you doing that? No? Okay. Well, let me know when we're having dinner.
Okay. Hey, do that idea with the new man.
Dude, I am. It's gonna be great.
Just look, that will tease the people.
Yeah.
Tease them a little bit. Oh, what's going on here?
Yeah, I
People
think
love it. People want to be entertained. They want to feel like they're getting the inside info.
he met Claire tonight. He met Claire on Zoom. I know. That was interesting. She freaked out a little bit, but it's fine. We'll be okay.
All right, everybody. I gotta roll. I gotta make a phone call before
All
I
right.
go to bed.
Bye, guys.
So,
Bye.
Ciao.
All right, guys. Hope you all had a great night. It's went a little bit different than normal, but rolling with the flow. Persuading people, be yourself, be authentic, be you. And if you need anything from me, follow me on Instagram, Kayla Living Boldly. Have an amazing Tuesday night.